Oh, ghosts, the entities whose existence are always subject to debate. Well, guys, as it happens, I'm on the side that does believe they exist. Not only ghosts, but demons too. So for today's video, I'm here to convince you that they are here and lurk in places you'd expect, such as abandoned buildings. Well, not just abandoned buildings. Sometimes they live among us. You know, your invisible housemate. So I think they'd prefer it if you stop thinking they're imaginary, such as in this case, and pay attention to them for once. But before those entries, let's see one that seems to appreciate the modern things in life, such as TikTok. Number 10. Nice moves, girl. Sometimes we want to have some fun and record ourselves dancing to share online. But what if one of our admirers already happens to be with us, particularly behind us? Look at this TikTok from user Naomi Valdivia Zorro. Watch behind her as she dances to this pretty beat. Spot it? Here's a close-up if you don't notice. Yep, friends, that was a transparent face looking over her shoulder. I know, many of us expected a creep or a stalker given the background, but nope. It seems like she has a supernatural fan. Number 9. Teddy, you're alive! I can't be the only one who grew up watching Rowan Atkinson play Mr. Bean, the lovable, wacky man with a teddy bear for a best friend. Sometimes though, I had to wonder how and why. It's not as though Teddy would randomly talk to him one day and start moving, right? Right? Well, this clip probably gives me the answers I desperately didn't need. Watch as this boy was playing in the corner of his room with a teddy of his own. At first, the plush fell, so he sat it upright, not wanting his friend to be on the floor. Soon though, I bet he wished he kept Teddy there. It's not as noticeable at first, but Teddy's left arm starts waving. It takes a while before his playmate catches on. Probably not sure about what's happening, the child stares at it. Then, the teddy bear flips by itself in only seconds, sending the boy running away. Honestly, I would have too in the first few seconds I determined there's no fishing wire on that thing. Number 8. Y'all think I'm imaginary? Reddit user Summer1116 shared a video of her son on the Ghost subreddit. In the 4-year-old footage, the toddler could be seen talking to no one. Well, it's that or the closet full of clothes anyway. I'm sure that despite finding it odd enough to record his behavior, the mother likely thought her son had an imaginary friend. After all, some kids have those growing up. It was only after reviewing these tapes that she realized her son's friend might not be so imaginary at all. After throwing a tantrum, a ghostly voice of a girl could be heard saying sorry to the little tyke. Number 7. Impound Ghost. It's a bit of an old video, so excuse the low resolution. Still, I think you should be able to visibly see the entity going around the impound on the top left monitor. Of course, if this were our workplace, our intuition would first tell us there's a trespasser afoot. It's the same thought that Kathy Henley, the employee doing that shift, thought too. But according to her, when she went out to investigate the occurrence, there was nobody there. Creepy. Apparently though, there is a story that could explain this paranormal sighting. 3 of the vehicles in that lot came from fatal accidents. One car in particular came in from an accident that very same night. Could it be then that the figure we see moving around is the spirit of the recently deceased? Maybe it doesn't even know it died and was looking for its car to bail out of the compound. If that is indeed true, may the deceased rest in peace. Hopefully they find a better ride in the next life. Number 6. I turned myself in. During a police station graveyard shift in Malaysia, the entrance slams open. Well, not before the door to the right though. This visibly surprises all the officers inside, with one quickly getting on his feet to investigate the situation while his comrades group up to check out what's going on in front. Given how the first door appears internal, I doubt a gust of wind's the culprit. Plus it flung outward rather than inward. Perhaps it was someone whose conscience couldn't be calmed, even in death. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe a ghost of a deceased prisoner thought it was his time to escape imprisonment. Whatever the case, kudos to the cops. I'd be too scared to investigate. Number 5. Caught on the baby monitor. In this video, we see a door opening by itself with no orb or apparition or even a shadow to cast blame on. Later, we also see the balloon, which at first was entirely still, move to the side as well, seemingly towards the door. Finally, of all the spooky things that could happen in this tape, the stuffed lion looks up as if observing something hovering on top or in front of it. I know, some of you will say there are orbs in the footage, but they look too close to the camera and far from the door and items to be the culprit. Number 4. The kitchen ghost. Just look at this TikTok posted by the Hammerly family. While the dad was on his computer with his webcam on, the camera caught the fridge door opening and closing by itself. Confused, the dad comes closer to see what is going on, until it opens again, sending him scurrying off. Ain't nobody wanna tussle with a hangry entity. However, that's not the last they will hear from the ghost. While the lady of the house was cleaning her countertops, their invisible housemate thought they could lend a hand and shoot the cleaning wipes closer to the woman. She doesn't take it well though and asks it to leave. Lastly, the ghost seems to hate nap time as much as the youngest in the house does. The spectre threw a tantrum as soon as the dad told his kid that she had 5 more minutes. Uh-oh. Guess you might want to take those words back, dude, before something smacks you in the head. Remember how I said I also believe demons exist? For today's best pick, here's the video proof of that. And the best part, it's all caught in 4K. Watch the encounter next. Number 3. You asked for this. Did I really watch a man hunt for demons alone for you all? Yes, you're welcome for the content. Now here are my medical bills. Half jokes aside, this video from Tim Morozov freaked me out. I can't tell you how often I looked behind me to make sure nobody was standing or hovering there. But for all the people who said ghost footage is usually caught on potato cameras, well, here it is, all in 4K quality. Tim began the day preparing his salt and candle circle to protect himself in the house he believes is demon-infested. Come night, he stayed inside his circle to catch paranormal activities in the act. Here we'll see phantoms caught on thermal footage, a ghost or demon saying something that translate to "here's to us," teacups rolling by themselves, oh, and even his salt circle being tampered with and broken, with all his candles getting blown out. Honestly, there's a lot to digest, so enjoy the clips. You'll see what I mean when you do. And if you have the time, I recommend watching the entire video on Tim Morozov's channel. Man needs the accolade after almost becoming hotcakes after the angry demon tried squishing him under a cabinet. Number 2. Who are you? I often lodge my cat with her vet when I'm out of town. And you know what? After seeing this footage, I'm sure I made the right choice. This fur parent left their cats at home while away on vacation, with a good friend coming by every other morning to check on the fur babies. Of course, they aren't completely leaving them in the blind. They have a security camera after all. Of all the things that could happen though, they didn't expect to see this. Follow the gaze of the cat sitting on its hind legs. See it? There's a shadow cast on the bedroom wall. Its sibling also notices it after the shadow goes in. As soon as the second cat enters the room, the door closes with the camera panning to the doorway. How it all ends is narrated in the description. The cats survived but were aggressive and on edge as their owner came home. To be fair, if you left me to fend for myself in a haunted house, I would be too. Number 1. Apparition on the roof. I have to admit, I was skeptical of this video at first, thinking the camera just caught some blurry silhouette of a woman on the roof. However, the more I watched it and paid attention to the video, the sooner I was convinced that something supernatural was going on. Throughout the clip, we see an apparition appear and disappear on the building rooftop. Pay attention to when she disappears. Typically, something unexplainable happens then. Well, probably except for the tarp falling. I can imagine that happening due to the guy who's sleeping. We all have our rowdy bed days after all. But anyways, of everything she's doing, all I know for sure is that she's trying her best to get the guy off her territory. It took a while and a lot of effort from her, but she managed to make him get the picture. Look as he scatters for protection when his makeshift pillow gets dragged to the streets. Kudos to his bravery, or sleepiness though. I would have run the moment the tarp fell.